Hey, we're going to get going. My name is Christian Jones. I'm the owner of Firework Stand Marketer, and I'm glad to be with you guys today. How many of you guys are out here today to buy some more fireworks? Oh, I should see a lot of hands up. I should see a whole lot of hands up. How many of you are going to go to the demo tonight? Everyone have coats, gloves, hats? Yeah. I've got one question for you that's going to kind of springboard us in. How many of you right now know... Well, let me ask one more preliminary question. How many of you own a fireworks store or fireworks stand? Hands up. I would assume most people here, but let's make sure. How many of you know if your fireworks store or fireworks stand ranks on page 1 of Google right now? I see 1, 2, 3 hands. And maybe one more question for those of you that raise your hands. Do you know how you got to rank on page 1? Yeah, come on, there we go. Hey, so... There's a blend of people in this room. There's some people that I'm going to be speaking to tonight that have never heard of SEO. There's going to be some of you that are like really conversant, and I want to speak to both sides. So if you're crushing it on Google right now, if you're doing well, I want to give you more tips. I want to give you more tricks. I want to give you more how-to. And if you've never thought about digital marketing for your business, your fireworks stand or store, this is going to be a little bit of a crash course. I'm going to put you in some deep waters at times, but it's going to be okay. We're going to get through it together. But the title of this is How to Grow the Revenue for Your Retail Fireworks Business by Dominating Google in Your Local Area. And so here's our mission. I want to show you the exact blueprint that we use at Firework Stand Marketer to help our customers dominate on Google, generate more customers, and increase their revenue. And just so you know, I own 3 stands myself. I've been doing this for 15 years. I'll give you more of my backstory here in a minute. But I'm with you. I'm actually a customer, of course, of 76. I've got my container in already for our season. I'm in Wyandotte County, Kansas. We're only open for 6 days. So everything I'm showing you is for tents that I've built in our lab for the last 15 years of my fireworks stands myself. That was what birthed Firework Stand Marketer. So I am with you. I am one of you. And we're going to get into it today. And so here's my goals. And this actually, I copy and pasted what one of the 76 team members asked me to cover, and here's what they asked for this presentation. You guys, by the end of this, let's understand the importance of having a digital presence for your store, why Google reviews are important, and case studies of improvement that we got for some of our customers who really focused on reviews, and the importance of Google Business Profile and a well-built site. And for y'all, if that doesn't get you hooked in yet, this is the real goal. Sell more product. So you're here to buy product. I want to help you sell it. You're about to see some numbers for one of my businesses. I'm going to take you kind of behind the curtain and show you the growth of my main stand. But everything I'm about to tell you, even if I lose you a little bit in the weeds of technical digital marketing mumbo jumbo, it is for this goal. So keep that in mind. If you're at all interested in clearing product, this presentation is for you. So again, a little bit about me. 15 years in the retail fireworks industry in Kansas City. I am also the CEO of another company. This is my day job. At this point in life, I'm not just doing fireworks 6 days a year. That's the goal. Not yet. So when I'm not doing fireworks, I work for a company called Tax Pro Marketer, digital marketing for tax and accounting professionals. It's a company that actually just made the Inc. 5000 list, $2.5 million of revenue. And then I'm also, here it is right there. Yep, so Tax Pro Marketer and Fireworks Stand Marketer. I'm the CEO of both. And here's a pic of the family. So my wife is graciously watching all these children right now and hopefully not texting me in emergency. It's wild times. We've got an 8-month-old, a 2-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And we're wondering if we have brains, if we know what we're doing. Here's a little bit of a timeline too, because again, you guys don't know me. Let me just take you into some of how I got to this place of even speaking with you. In 2008, there was a stand run by a local high school in Kansas City that I was a part of. It was a fundraiser for a football and cheerleading team, and I was a manager for it. Fast forward to 2016, I took over ownership of that. The year before, I started working for Tax Pro Marketer. So I've been at Tax Pro Marketer for 8 years, just as long as I've been the sole owner of this fireworks stand. And my job at Tax Pro Marketer, this digital marketing agency for CPAs and bookkeepers and tax professionals, my first job was to be an SEO specialist. Again, I've said SEO a few times. Who knows what SEO stands for? Who has no idea what SEO stands for? It's okay. Yeah, there we go. Search engine optimization. So for CPAs and bookkeepers And tax professionals, what my job was when I first got started was make them rank on Google. And I then realized, why don't I try and apply some of this to my fireworks stand that I just bought? That's a good idea. And so I've been in the lab for 8 years now of helping tax professionals, applying that to the summertime business, and it's grown. I've now got 3 stands in stores around the Kansas City metro area. You can see some of the other timeline, but now I hope you guys can see this. This is for one of my stands. This is my gross revenue over the last 8 years. So again, I'm trying to pull you in a little bit. You don't know me. This is me being fairly transparent. I'm not trying to flex. All I'm trying to say is if you want to grow, this really works. And you're in this room now, and you're not somewhere else, so get the benefit of this. But here's some really tangible numbers. When I took this over in 2015, $57,000 for 6 days. Not bad. Not bad at all. Like that's a midline stand, midline store. Fast forward to 2022, we did $250,000 for one stand in 6 days. It's at the same location. I'm buying from the same vendors. I'm making improvements. I'll buy new signs, but fundamentally, this is the same stand. You'll actually see it in a little bit. I'll show you our website. It's a 60 by 40 tent. It's a tent. This is not a fixed building. And so I'm not even saying I'm the biggest fish in the room. I know I'm not. But this type of growth is what prompted Firework Stand Marketer to be a thing. And here's another caveat before we get into the tactics. This was organic. Nothing I'm going to tell you is paid search. There is no advertising involved in what we do because we can't advertise. So I'll tell you more about that in a little bit, but everything I'm about to tell you is playing a slow game. Some of these years are pretty big jumps. I had a 42% jump, a 53% jump, and it's tapered off a little bit. The numbers are getting kind of big, but that is because of all the stuff I did back here. And the thing about the fireworks industry is the same thing about the tax and accounting industry, is the same thing about almost every seasonal business industry. And I mean, there's some that aren't, like restaurants, they're savvy, they've got to compete online. Electricians, plumbers, other service-based businesses. There are some cutthroat industries, but most industries are not great at digital marketing, and fireworks is one of them. And so part of the reason why this works is not that I'm the biggest, I'm at the best location. I do have the best product. I love my 76 product. I love the team here, and they supply me with amazing stuff that's easy to sell. The reason I grew is because, in large part, there's a vacuum. No one does this stuff. No one knows how to do this stuff. And even if you have other businesses you're involved in, and you know websites are important, and you know SEO is important, even if that's you, it's a seasonal business, and you want to just set stuff up and get the tables and then take it down and move on with your life, right? So this is one of those things that by the time you need to do it, and it's June or July, it's too late. And so it's March. That's a big reason why I wanted to present to you guys. You have time now to affect change for this summer season. And what you do in this summer season will affect your winter season. It snowballs. There is not a get-rich-quick scheme from me in this presentation. There are no cheap shortcuts. I'm telling you how to do it the right way. That's how most things should always be done, of course, but digital marketing is full of hucksters and charlatans, and I don't like to come across that way. So I'm going to give you as much value as I can, as much information as I can, so that you can either do this yourself or, of course, we're here to help you do it if you'd like. You guys can do this. How did I do it? That's the question, right? What did I do to affect those types of numbers, to go from 57,000 in 2015 to $250,000 in 6 days? Dominate on Google. That's step one. This is not the sum total of digital marketing, but this is where people go to find you. They go on Google. We'll talk about Facebook. We'll talk about social media. We do that for our customers. I am not against it at all. But when you look at where most of your potential customers are trying to go to discover who they're going to buy fireworks from, they're not getting on Facebook. They're getting on Google. Facebook is an interruption environment. I'm not going on Facebook to find you as a fireworks stand owner. I'm going to find pictures of my grandma's dog, my friend who's on a trip I wish I could take, or something like that. I'm on Facebook, and oh, here's a fireworks stand. That's an interruption. I didn't go there to find it. Facebook and social media is fine. You should do it. We help with it. But Google is intent-based. People go on Google because they intend to find something, and they type in a keyword like, get my fireworks stand to dominate on Google, or best fireworks stand near me, top 10 fireworks stands in my area, fireworks store, whatever they search for. This is where people go these days. A year from now, it could change. The digital marketing landscape changes all the time, but Google has been pretty safe for the last couple of decades as the de facto place that people go to find you. So we're playing the Google game. That's what I'm bringing you into today, is how to play the organic game with Google. Unpaid, ranking on page 1 because of how your digital marketing presence is set up. How do you own your local online marketplace? Don't worry about this QR code. On your table is, there's like 3 sheets per table, and we've got more back there. I've got my partner in crime, Ben Grootman. If you don't get a form and want one, we've got plenty. But I put 3 on each table. There's a QR code, same one. If you want, it's also got a marketing evaluation on it. Score yourself and come talk to us. Tell us what's going well. There's 9 checkpoints that we wanted you guys to evaluate yourselves on. But here's, again, a place or on your sheet, a link to go talk to us. So we're here at the event. Talk to us now. But if you want to talk later, too, we can accommodate that. We'd be glad to. Online marketing is more than traffic. And this is also, again, something that I feel really passionate about because being in the tax and accounting marketing space, there's a lot more competition in digital marketing than in the fireworks space. And there's a lot of people that it's just cheap. It's clicks and it's ads and it's cutthroat and it's obnoxious because online marketing is a relationship journey. You need traffic. You need awareness. You need to be found. But if you stop there, you miss the gold. The fortune with online marketing, with marketing in any form, is in the follow-up. Let's just use an example. If I give you a customer and I give you their name, email, and phone number to follow up with them next year, that is more valuable than someone that just buys 1 year. You have no way to follow up. It was transactional. It never became relational. Marketing should be relational, which means you need to have a plan for your traffic that takes them through a funnel. Funnels are broad at the top and get more narrow as they go down. The top of that funnel is awareness. You got to get found. But then you need to engage, you need to convert, and you need to ascend. Today's presentation is only about awareness, the most fun part. Clicks, traffic, reviews, direction requests, improving your rank. But I want to clearly state that's not the end game. The end game has to be names, emails, phone numbers, follow-up, texting, all of that has to be a part of what you do, or you're just playing a transactional game every year. So even those of you that are page 1 on Google right now, this is probably an area to evaluate. What do you do with follow-up? Can you get those names out of your POS system reliably? Do those texts and emails get sent? Do you have a plan? That's all stuff we solve for, but again, without awareness, it doesn't matter. If I build you a website no one finds, it doesn't matter. So we got to get found first. That's step 1, and the goal of the awareness stage is to identify your target prospects, get them to consume your content or take in action. This is the goal. Identify your target prospects, get them to consume your content or take in action. A lot of those actions are direction requests, calls to your business from Google, visits to your website. That's the goal. But again, there's more to it than there, but let's generate some traffic. Talked about this a little bit. Here's some really traditional big buckets of how you can get traffic. You can get traffic from your Facebook page. You could get traffic from Instagram. You could get traffic from TikTok or whatnot. Social media is a thing. I'm all about it, just not as much as you might expect being in the digital marketing space for this industry in particular for the reasons I mentioned. Another big bucket is advertising. Pay-per-click advertising is super powerful. We'll talk about that in a minute. The 2 things I'm really going to harp on today are these last 2. Local listings and what we call search engine results. And that will be really clearly explained to you by the time we're done. You will know what that means. You will know what local listings are, and you will know what the search engine results are. But those are the 3 big things. Ads, the map section, that's local listings, and then showing up beneath the map. This is the layout of a Google page. I'm going to show you one in reality, but just conceptually, most industries, you can show up in an ad at the top, you can show up in the map beneath that ad, and then your website can show up beneath that map section. But, let's see here. Here we go. This is for a CPA. So this is a demonstration of what I just told you. Here's ads, here's a map, and then here's this green section that we call the organic search results. These are different algorithms. That's something you're going to understand by the end of the day. To rank here requires different things to rank here, and you should aim at both. Now, this is for a CPA. Again, let's look at the fireworks industry. How do Google Ads work for the fireworks industry? They don't. You are not allowed to advertise on Google, on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, on anywhere. And there are some people who will tell you you can. Run for the hills. In marketing, almost always run from something that sounds too good to be true. Don't try and advertise your brand. Don't try and do the gimmicky things, because by their terms of service, our industry is just blacklisted. It's a liability for them. It's insurance. It's Silicon Valley. It's California. I don't know what it is completely, but everyone's in lockstep with this. We can't advertise. But you darn well can rank on those maps in that organic search results section. And if you do those things, you won't really care about advertising. So if you feel the pinch to improve right now, ads is a gateway drug, right? Well, we can't use it. So you got to play the long game. We're playing the long game today. You want to rank in both of these places. And here's an example of a Google search without the ads. So I searched for Firework Stand, no ads, top 3, and then this organic search results section beneath it. Here's my business, by the way. I'm not going to explain this map section, but basically, I show up really far around my town because no one else is doing this. So my search radius around Kansas City is pretty big, not just around my locality, but around the metro because of these things I do. So I searched from way down here. When I did this actual search, I was physically located in Grandview, and my business is way up here, and yet I still showed up on page 1. So we're going to talk about this green section first. How do I rank down here? This is the tactics. If this is what you've been waiting for, we're going to talk about it. The tactics of from the bottom of the page first, how do I get my website to rank in this area? This is a graph from an SEO resource I love from our friends at Moz Local, M-O-Z, Moz Local. I don't own them. I'm not affiliated with them. This is just a content resource from them on how do you rank in that green section. Item number 1, your on-page SEO elements. Item number 2, the organic user behavior on your site. Item number 3, your Google My Business elements. I'm going to talk about those 3 and then give you 3 tactics. So according to Moz, the way you rank first in that green section on page 1 of Google, best firework stand near me, is what's happening on the back end of your website. Websites, I'll say this more in a minute, not all websites are created equal. Websites can have lots of different jobs. You can go on Squarespace or Wix today and build a good-looking website that no one ever finds because of this. Well, hello. Let's get that back up. The on-page SEO elements refers to things on the back end of your website that no one will ever see. These are things like titles, meta descriptions, alt image tags, things you don't need to know about. But I want to tell you the back end of your website and how it's connected or not to Google matters a lot. So if you've invested $10,000 or $0 on your current site and it's not working, it's because how much you spend on your website doesn't necessarily correlate to performance. And that's unfortunate. And that's why digital marketing is a really big industry, because there's a lot of web developers who are good at graphic design and not good at SEO. They'll build you a good-looking site, and it won't ever work. That's fairly normal. I deal with that in every business I'm a part of. Yes, I know you spend a lot of money on your site, and I know you feel emotionally attached to it, but it's not working, is it? It's not doing its job. Your website's got 2 jobs: get traffic, convert that traffic. If it's not doing those 2 things, we got to talk. So the back end of your website's the first thing that matters. It's not what you see, it's what you don't see. Number 2, organic user behavior. How people engage on your site is the second factor that Google looks at. Do they click? Do they engage with the video? Do they give you their information? Do they visit multiple pages? Or do they get to your site and bounce? Have you ever heard of a bounce rate? A bounce rate is when someone visits one page on your site and they bounce off. Bounce rate as a high percentage is bad. You want a low bounce rate. You want high amount of time on your site. Google measures how much people scroll. It's scary. We're not going to talk about Terminator or AI or scariness, but Google's a scary company. They see a lot, and we want to play the game. So you want to design your website to keep people on it. Your website should clearly tell the traffic that's on it what you want them to do next. If I'm on your site and I don't quickly know what you want me to do next, I'm probably gone. I don't care about how long you've been in business. I don't care about blah, blah, blah. I'm on your site because I have a problem. I want to buy fireworks. What do I do next? Can I get a deal? Can I get something from you? Are you offering me anything? If you don't do that really quickly at the top of the page, that's a problem. Now, this third thing, we'll talk a lot about this today unless I just ramble on about websites for too long. Google My Business, Elements, is the third most important factor for ranking in this green section. That's the profile from the Maps area. It's now called Google Business Profile. It was called Google My Business. It is now called Google Business Profile. I don't know why they changed the name. Google does a lot of weird things. But that profile is the third factor for this green section. And let me tell you one more thing about your website. This is about content, because the content on your site also matters. This is more of a tax and accounting thing than a fireworks thing. Duplicated, templatized, boilerplate content is not your friend. So when we build our client sites, we customize it, we change it, we tweak it. We don't just spin out the same thing because EAT is a really popular, really relevant current term for website SEO work. Expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Google judges pages on your site based on the credibility of the page, the author, and the website. So if you've got no content, or content that you stole, borrowed, or copied, or content you haven't updated, that's not your friend. Change your content, update your content, write new stuff, write a blog post, add some, God, you know what I bought from 76 this year? Tell people what you bought. Put it on your site. No one might ever see that page, but Google likes that you did that. So that helps you rank. Even though people won't ever see some of those secondary and tertiary pages on your site, having them helps you. Updating your content helps you. So don't think about your website as one and done. It's a living, breathing thing. Here's another way to say what I just said. Not all websites are created equal. Building a website on WordPress versus Squarespace or Wix is not the same thing. We build our sites on a platform that actually has positive SEO out of the box. Some of these other platforms don't bring that. Content really matters. Again, we just talked about that. EAT, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Your content really matters. And optimize for engagement. What do I do next when I'm on your site? Be your own prospect. Be your own prospective customer. Ask yourself if it's clear, when I'm on my site, does this person know what to do next? And if not, change it. It's easy to change. So here's my site for this stand that is pulling in $250,000. It's a 60 by 40 tent. You can kind of see it in the background. Headline, get directions. Real simple. It's not complicated. And sometimes the most powerful things in digital marketing are actually quite simple. We're not convoluting it. It's, I'm in Kansas City, top fireworks stand, get directions because that's what I want. I would rather not have phone calls or form fills first before direction requests. But if someone tries to leave this page, if their cursor starts to go up to the X, you'll see this. Hey, would you like some free stuff? This is where the relationship journey starts. This is a very simple pop-up. And I am going to give stuff away. This is my generic one. When we're open in the 4th, it'll be more specific. But year-round, anyone can enter to get giveaways, product info, announcements, and we follow up with people. And that builds trust. That builds relationship, and that's another topic for another day. Down the funnel, trust building in your marketing funnel. We're not going to go there. Let's move up now. We just talked about this. I know it's a lot. I told you I was going to throw you in the deep waters, but we're going to get through it together. We're now going to move to algorithmically. What does Google want me to do to rank here? And if you're going to choose one, choose this one. If you're going to take something away from my talk, pay attention to this. Because this is the thing that's at the top of the page. This is the thing that gets direction requests, phone calls, and this is where your reviews are seen, and that creates, again, trust. So this is really important. Again, we've got Moz here. This is their algorithm or their ranking list for what Google's algorithm is looking for. Google My Business Elements is now the number 1 thing. Remember, it was number 3 on our last list. Google Reviews is number 2. Proximity of the searcher to the place of business is number 3. And that's out of your control. You can't control where people are searching from. If I'm in Kansas City-based shoppers are going to see me. I'm not going to get anyone from Boonville or Columbia or Oklahoma City or Omaha because I can't advertise. Advertising allows you to break out of your market and target other places. We can't do that. This is local. This is not national. This is not regional. Google's algorithm for this map section is based on proximity. So they're going to show people the best option around them. Again, you can expand your radius by doing this. You can get more mileage out of how far you go if you crush this. But the first thing is the back end of your Google My Business page, now called Google Business Profile. We'll use those terms interchangeably. Google Reviews is number 2. We're going to talk about those things. Back-end optimization, just like your website, matters a whole lot. Some of you that are crushing on SEO, you probably, of course, know you've got a Google My Business Profile. It's got reviews. And those of you that don't, what's it called? Business.google.com. Business.google.com is where you go to claim your profile or set it up for the first time. That's a really big freebie. If you don't know if you've got a profile, or if you do, but it's not in your possession, which is probably a lot of you, go to business.google.com, claim your profile, or set up a new one. You don't have to pay me to do that for you. What you would need to do is either learn or pay someone like me to optimize it. That's just like having a website versus having the back end really dialed in. The back end of your Google page is quite consequential. This first thing is not, do you have a page? It's the elements on the back end. That's what they're saying is the most important thing. So just having a page is step 1. Having it optimized is where the money's at. And so there's a lot of levers you can pull on the back end of this profile that Google doesn't highlight in red. They don't tell you how much they're looking at it. They don't tell you how much they care about it, but they do. And that's where people get lost, is they don't know what they're looking at on the back end of that profile, and it's not obvious. So here is my profile. You can see this is basically me taking a screenshot of what I was scrolling to see. Here's the top, here's the middle, here's the bottom. This real estate that you're seeing top to bottom is probably drastically more real estate than most of you have because I am optimizing different elements and therefore I get that real estate. So if you search for my business, Pat Riot's Fireworks, that scroll can either be long or if you don't have many elements dialed in, it can be really short. And it's not just the length that matters, it's the fact that I'm doing those things and I'm also posting content. Hint, hint, you can post to Google. Doesn't matter if it gets you a lead, it just makes Google like you more. Send signals to Google. But you can also see 149 reviews with a 4.8 star rating. Let's talk about that. Reviews. This, besides just figuring out your back end of your Google profile or having us help you, this is your biggest lever you can pull. If you do nothing else but find a way to get more reviews this summer, you're going to do well. This will have been a session that was really worth your time. If you simply cracked the code of when it's sweaty, hot, and I've got boxes to open, and I'm stressed out of my mind, how do I get reviews? Because I'm going to give you a secret. You're not going to get them if you don't get them while they're in your store. You're not going to get them. How many of you have like 10 to 15 or 20 reviews? You've been open for 10 to 20 years, and they're just trickling in. It's okay. I'm not mad about it, but like that's most people. Some of you that are exception, good job. Like I love it. There is more than one way to skin this cat, but whether or not you get reviews is completely dependent on what you do when you're open and they're in your business. That's where we come in. We have a strategy that you'll see case studies for that's quite dramatic in what it's able to do, and it's because I've tinkered with it for years, and it didn't work, and then it did, and it really works. Because if you get reviews, Google will reward you royally. You will shoot up the rankings, period. Because they're looking for recency. How recent is your last review? Is it from a year ago? Is it from 2 years ago? You might have 50, but if they're 2 years old, it's a problem. Recency of your reviews matters. Frequency. The frequency of your reviews matters. If you only get one a season, that's a problem. It's better than 0, but you should repeatedly get positive 5-star reviews when you're open. Your star rating, of course, matters. I'm not stressed about a 1-star review. I'm not stressed about that nut job who came in and demanded a refund for something that they didn't buy here, and then they leave a 1-star review, and it's like, what the hell? Like, that wasn't even a customer. Don't worry about it. Like, play the game. Don't worry about negative feedback, because if you're making it rain with 5-star reviews, it gets diluted. It doesn't matter. A lot of our top-performing customers are at 4.5 stars, 4.3 stars, 4.7 stars. I'm not concerned about you being 5 stars. Don't worry. Just trust me. Don't be upset. Don't be upset when you get a 1-star review. It will happen. I had a guy in Dallas this year who was getting so many new reviews, his competitor started leaving him 1-star reviews every day. We can deal with that. He was pissed because he didn't know how to get reviews, and the guy he was competing with, our customer, was slaying it. Here's some consumer feedback. This is from another group called Bright Local. 48% of consumers will consider using a business with fewer than 4 stars, which is to say that 52% of people need you to have 4 stars or more. 12% of people won't use you if you don't have 5 stars. Forget about that number. This is the main one. You want to have at least more than 4 stars. 86% of people will only pay attention to reviews written in the last 3 months. 73% the last month. 50% the last 2 weeks. We're a different business. We're seasonal. So this is kind of macro data for all industries. But nonetheless, here's another tip. Stack reviews early. We get most of our reviews before the 4th. I don't even have a winter season. All we have is the 29th of June to the 4th of July. And a lot of our reviews come when we're less stressed. Because when the bullets are flying and our 60 by 40 tent is probably breaking fire code, it's harder to get reviews. It just is. Even with a good system, it's still hard. Because it's dependent on a 17-year-old behind our point of sale. So you might even, if I told you the secret sauce of our review strategy and you all totally got it, doesn't matter unless you're at the register for your stand day in and day out. What matters is if this can find its way down to the person at the bottom of your chain of command who's at the table checking people out. That's what matters. Hey, look at that. I should have pulled this up. Getting reviews on your busiest days is traditionally hard for me, for our customers. Stack them early. That's my recommendation about reviews. And you need a system way in advance. That's where our system is really great. If you don't work with us, you guys are smart people. You can find other ways to do it, but we have an easy button that really does work. Here's a question, kind of rhetorical, because hopefully it's obvious. I don't know if you guys can even see this. Here's 3 businesses. Which of these would you choose? Number 1, with 38 reviews and a 4.2 star rating. Number 2, with 27 reviews and a 4.1 star rating. Or number 3, with 149 reviews and a 4.8 star rating. I might be number 3, but I'll bet you $1 that I'm getting picked more than the other 2. And again, this is from me searching 23 miles away from my physical location. And one more thing, when you send those signals to Google, this is a small thing, but if you can notice this, I know this is kind of far from the screen, but the screen is big enough. This firework stand is hands down the best one around town. That's one of my reviews. None of these others have that little snippet. Why? They haven't had a review recently or frequently, and this doesn't stay forever. So I'm getting reviews, so I get a little extra push from Google that I'm open, I've got good people coming in that are happy. Those are some of the little tiny things that amount to domination on Google. We're in the weeds here, but again, if you get reviews more recently and more frequently than you are now, this is going to pop up for you. It's not an if, it's just a when. Our system also helps you respond to reviews. This is another big freebie. Respond to your reviews, good and bad, everything in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars. Google likes it when you respond to your customers. So if you haven't ever responded to your customers, I'm giving you stuff today. I'm trying to give you value. I want you to know our blueprint. Respond to your reviews. Responding to 1-star reviews. Act like an adult. Don't play in the mud. It doesn't look good. Think about the next person that's looking at it. I have got a number of customers who have told me I came in because of how you responded to a 1-star Yelp review from a crazy person. Because I didn't freak out. Don't freak out on 1-star reviews. Just don't. I know it's emotional and it feels personal. It's not. They're crazy. Let them be crazy. Be cool. Be normal. Be an adult. And you will actually pull in more people because that person will look stupid. Let them look stupid. And then get a lot of 5 stars and respond to all of them. Mostly on Google. So our system, you can see here's some reviews from 2022. I can come in here and simply respond to them right from our software. Facebook, Google, Yelp, it all aggregates in, and you can just simply have one dashboard to respond. But again, you can do this yourself too. Totally fine. Set up all local profiles. This you probably can't do, and that's okay. I'm giving you a lot of freebies, but I want to be honest. This is harder to do. There are softwares to do this, but basically, Google's the beast. Google's the 500-pound gorilla. You want to deal with Google the most. But Google looks at every other profile on the internet. Bing, Apple Maps, Yelp, Angie's List, Hot Frog. There's lots of profiles you've never heard of that Google crawls to see if you have a presence. You will never get a customer from Angie's List. And if you have, or if Angie's in the room, I'm sorry. But you need Angie's List set up because Google's going to look for consistency of your business name and address and phone number. So for a CPA or a bookkeeper who's like, yeah, I've been in business for 30 years, the first thing I'm thinking is, you know what, this guy's probably moved addresses, he's probably changed his business name, he's probably changed his phone number. That's a fireworks space too. You've moved across the street, you moved across town, you updated your phone number, and the internet doesn't figure that out for you. You got to help the internet. You got to help these profiles. It doesn't all auto-sync. We have a system that does actually auto-sync, but that's a part of our software that we've built because doing this will send, again, more signals to Google. You rank higher, you get more customers. That's why you care. You care about this random set of profiles you'll never think about again because Google will help you rank higher if you have it. Whew! You guys with me? Is this a lot? It's a lot. That's okay. You can say it is. I'm going to show you from another angle the effect of this. I'm going to show you some case studies for the winter season we just got through. So this is a customer that signed up in September of 2022. We took their website live in October. We trained them on the review system in November. Their text and email campaign commenced a few days before they opened, December 20th, and continued throughout the winter season. Their website got 493, nearly 500 new leads of people saying, you know what, here's my name, email, and phone number. I want to hear from you again. 493. We sent 51,000 emails because they had a big POS system. We dumped it all in, and we had a 98% delivery rate and a 17% open rate, which is really good. 20%, give or take a few, is what you want to aim for on email open rate. And so we were right in that ballpark. 9,000 emails got opened. We had to scrub their POS list. It was a dirty list, but we did it. And we sent out 51,000 emails nearly. And those emails had a 2.1% click-through rate. So open rate is different than click-through rate. That's nearly 1,100 people taking the offer we gave them in their email. That's 1,100 customers saying, I've now got a reason to visit you versus someone else. That's at the bottom of the funnel. That's relationship. Let's talk about keyword rank. I was tempted not to put this in because I'm throwing a lot at you. But if you don't understand keyword rank, I probably would be remiss and I would have failed you. When we first worked with them, we tracked like 20 keywords. Firework stand near me, best firework stand, fireworks store. There's like 20 keywords I asked this report to track. This is not everything they rank for. This is not all their keywords. This is just me saying, okay, report, every time I rerun this, what changed? Did they move up? Did they move down? Did we get new rankings? So when I first ran in October, they didn't rank in position 1 for any keywords I was tracking. They didn't rank in position 2 through 5 for any keywords I was tracking. They ranked in position 6 through 10 for 20. And you can see that here. Flash forward to February. So October to February, after the season, post-op. 44 keywords that I'm tracking are ranking in position 1. I'm tracking on Google Search, Maps, Mobile, Bing, and Bing Local. That's why you're seeing more than 20, because we're tracking each keyword across 5 different search places, 5 different places you can rank. Google Search, Google Mobile, Google Maps, Bing, and Bing Local. 44, 29, and 12. Here's the graph. If none of that made sense, just look at the graph. The graph is quite impressive. That's report number 1. This is our final report. All that dark green is number 1 keyword ranking that now they get to snowball into the summer. You don't have to do this again. They might not have had as big of a year as they'll have in the summer, but they've teed themselves up well because they did the thing. And here's what happened. The summer before they were working with us, their 10-plus locations, they have 10-plus locations, had 14 total reviews. In our season, our first season with them, December 15th to January 5th, we got them 557 reviews with a 4.9 star rating. That's why their keyword report moved as much as it did. They got a good website too, but this is Google saying, We like it when you get good reviews. And their biggest competitor, which is a multi-million-dollar fireworks enterprise, got 13 new reviews in the same time frame. They had got 14 the summer before. 557 new reviews during this time frame, which is a 3,800% increase. 8.8 thousand direction requests and 1,100 calls from Google. This is for all their stores in aggregate. Moving into the next summer, basically what this says is they're in a good place. Let's do another one. This guy's a smaller one. This is a single stand, his first year with us. He had 4 reviews total on Google before working with us. So preseason, 4 reviews. Some of that might be you or might be close to you, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We trained him on the review system in mid-December. He signed up in early December. This was not ideal. I'll do it, but there's some things we're just going to have to focus on, and we focus heavily on let's get reviews, let's get your Google page dialed in. First report, right before he opened, he doesn't rank at all for any of the keywords I'm tracking in position number 1. He ranks 12 times in ranking number 2 through 5 on Google and Bing and all their various iterations. By the end of that time, this is January 25th, 56 times he's in position 2 through 5, and we got him 1 keyword he's number 1 in. So again, before, 0 and 12 for those first positions in 2 through 5, and then 1 in 56. That's a 250% increase in top 20 keyword rank in 1 month. And here's some of his juicy details. He got 51 new reviews, and he actually has a 5-star rating. So that's amazing. That wasn't the goal. It's wonderful when it happens, but he went from 4 reviews to like 55 or 56 in 1 season. And he's going to carry that keyword rank into the summer. He's ready to go. He's in a really good place. He's probably going to have his busiest season ever, and especially with some 76 product, it's going to move like crazy. So again, here's some of the search terms that people found him for. Fireworks near me, fireworks Dallas, Dallas fireworks, whatever. That's what we're talking about. We track this stuff. You can track this stuff. You can know how you show up and what you rank for. You just got to know how to build these reports and make Google like you more. So again, it should be obvious, but they are in a good place. While everyone else in their market is sleeping on digital marketing, this group took a ton of ground in the winter. So here's what we do. How much time do I have left? Probably not much. I've got 15 minutes on my clock. I want to be done by 4:15 because we got roundtables coming up from a whole nother angle. Your guys' brains are going to be full of information before you watch some stuff blow up tonight. So real quick, here's what we do. You can copy and paste this, try and do it yourself. But again, we are a business. We have customers. We'd love to help you. I will build you a new website. I will help you with local SEO. I will help you with social media, and I will give you access to our software called Client Stack that helps you get reviews, text, and email. That's where we do our text, email, and responding. It's called Client Stack. So again, here's my website, a clean design, optimized for keyword rank, do the back-end stuff, and make an effective conversion mechanism. Borrow this if you want. I want to serve this industry. I actually really do. I know that sounds self-serving, but like even if you leave here and you don't work with us, if you take some of this and do it for yourself and improve and grab me in the demo next year for 76, I'll be happy. Tell me what happened. That's great. If you really just want to crack the code by yourself, go for it. What we also help with is, of course, local SEO. We'll optimize your main profile, your Google page. We'll post content when you're open. We'll help you with reviews. That's key. Figuring out reviews is the biggest nut I cracked, and that is one of the biggest things we bring to the table. We'll provide clear reporting, and we'll claim all those other profiles you don't care about. We will also post content to Facebook. Again, Facebook's great. If you're the exception and you go viral, and you've got 1,000 people that follow you, and it's meaningful, our content will help. But if it's not, it's okay. It's a necessary thing. Posting to your business Facebook page is a very low-level part of Google's algorithm. To be honest, that's the only reason we do it, is because posting to Facebook makes Google happy. If you haven't picked it up yet, everything we're doing is sending signals to the Google overlords in Silicon Valley. That's kind of the underlying goal of everything. But our content looks great too. We've got good images, we've got good stuff. We'll post it to Instagram and Facebook. But just don't think social media is a silver bullet when it's not. And then Client Stack helps you get reviews. We can put a web chat on your thing. This helps you text. We've got emails. We can track your calls. If you want to evaluate your sales team, who's answering the phone and how are they doing, it's not an extra fee. Client Stack will help you track and record and listen to calls so you can do some QC after the fact. How many of you would like to know what your 16-year-old is saying when they pick up the phone for your business. Yeah, that's a good thing. You don't have to do that, but ClientStack has a lot of marketing widgets and features. The main thing is texting, emailing, and reviews. Okay, so if you apply just a handful of tips from today, you'll be moving in the right direction, and I will feel like I succeeded. But for those of you who want an easy button and you want it done right, just because I love 76 and I'm a customer with you and we want to serve, our annual fee is $1,500 off for anyone that signs up from this event. If you don't take it, it's okay, but we're giving just for people here a big discount. And so here's the brass tacks. That's our retail price. $4,000 a year is it. $1,500 off. Your fee would be $24.98 plus $50 a month for all those B-list profiles we need to claim and maintain. It's a necessary evil. I wish we didn't have it, but it's $24.98 plus $50 a month for 1 year. And so when you think about your revenue growth, I don't have the slide coming up again, but remember back to what happened to me. $57,000 to $250,000 in revenue, step by step, over 8 years. It didn't happen all at once. I'm not selling you smoke. I'm not selling you a silver bullet, but if you work with us, you will move in the right direction, and I will coach you, and Ben will coach you, and our other team members will coach you, and we will be bugging the crap out of you so that you use the system I give you. There's some of it that's done for you. Your website will be set up. We'll build it. You don't need to worry about it. But when we come to June, anyone that signs up with us, you're going to be talking to me, and we're going to make this work. Because if I don't get your review system working especially, and if I don't hear from you what you want us to text and email out, we're going to miss a lot of stuff. So I'm quite incentivized, if you're a client of ours, to bug you until this happens. So you get me in your corner. That's what you get. And if you have multiple locations, we have a discount. If you've got like 10 plus locations, that's fine. It's all the same stuff. The website changes a little bit, but generally there's a discount if you've got like 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on locations. Your role with our services, get me the stuff I need in onboarding, learn and implement our review strategy system. We'll train you on it, and just ask questions. That's all I need you to do. Onboarding, learn the reviews, and ask for help. We're in your corner. We're staffed up. We're ready to go, and I'm bringing all of my experience to bear, and Ben's. I haven't talked a lot about Ben, but I've got a wizard over there that you should talk to who makes a lot of this software hum. Either of us are glad to help. And so you've got us in your corner, and let's sell some more products. So you're going to buy some stuff while you're here. Here's how you're going to sell it. You're going to have your own baseline, right? Your own normal growth trend. That's just going to happen. I want to add to that. Whatever you were going to sell this year, I want to be a factor above that. And that will happen if you start to show up on a channel that you don't right now, that most people use. It's as simple as that. That's the game. So I think that's it. Yeah, end of presentation, says the cat. I've probably got 5 minutes. I'll end early if we need to. I've got 9 minutes. It's 4:06. If there's any questions right now in your brave soul, put your hand up, ask it, or we'll be done if no one asks questions, and we'll be right over there at our little pop-up stand. Come grab us. We'll be here for a few hours. But since I've got a couple of minutes, does anyone have a brave question? Something I said. Yes, there's a few. Let's go right here first. You can, yeah. It's a yearly contract. It's year to year. We don't do 2 years of contracts. Maybe we would, but right now the way it's set up is just 1 year. It's one fee plus the $50 a month. And if you're done after year 1, you're done after year 1. And we part ways as friends and you try something else. Absolutely. Yep.
Is it per location? Per location?
Correct. Yes. So if you have multiple locations, there is a discount. You don't need more than one website. You do need more than one Google page, more than one B-list page, right? Angie's List, Bing. All of those separate locations need their own pages, they need their own review system, and they've got their own management and staff. We will train all of your key locations, and so yes, it is a per location thing. So our single stand annual fee for you guys is $24.98. Normally it's $4,000. Does that make sense? Perfect. Anyone else? Brave questions. Honest questions. There's no dumb questions.
On the one slide up there, you showed the one fireworks stand that got 50 reviews in the month of December on a business that's not even really open.
Which one?
How did you generate the reviews in December when the stand wasn't even open?
Let me see what you're talking about, because I know the business you're referring to. Case studies. This one? Number two. Number two, he says. This one? December 18th to January, that we got 50 reviews for them during this window?
Yes.
What's the question?
How did you get 51 reviews and you're not an operating business?
Oh, this one was open during the winter. I'm not. This wasn't me. This is a customer of ours. So yeah, that's a great clarification. So I've got 149 reviews from my main stand. This gentleman had 4 reviews before December 2022, and he got 51 5-star reviews this past winter season. This is a group down in Dallas. I'm in Kansas City. I should have clarified that. Does that answer your question?
So he's open year-round?
Nope, he's just got a winter season, the December 20th to January 2nd.
There's a lot of fireworks stands that have a New Year's season.
I wish I was one of them. Kansas City and Wyandotte, because we've got some friends over here in North Kansas City that are open, but on the Kansas side, nope, fire marshal won't let us.
Texas we are.
Texas you can, and that's actually 2 of the case studies I showed you are people in Texas. Any other questions? I'll be over there. You can ask them later if you're not wanting to expose yourself with something that feels silly.
Is this on paper or online somewhere? Or is it going to be so we can rewatch it?
That's a good question. I'm actually recording it. I'll put it somewhere. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
really fast.
I know. I do go fast. And I told you I was going to dunk you in the deep end, but I hope that you take a few things from this. I don't expect you to remember all of it. I am a retail fireworks guy, but I also have been doing digital marketing for quite a long time in a variety of industries. So you are totally okay if what I just said did not fully assimilate. Generally in teaching, if you're a teacher, if you've ever been a teacher, you need to hear things probably 5 to 7 times in a variety of forms before it sticks. So you just heard probably some new stuff for the first time. Come talk to us. Have a second conversation. Schedule a meeting. Have your third conversation. Or if you're just like, Christian, just easy button for me. I'm in. I know that's going to make me a ton of money and be a ton of value. We can do that too. So I'm going to stop now and let John and Sam come back up and lead us to roundtables. Thanks for your time, guys, and we'll be with you the rest of the evening.